What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. I'm back after a short stint of being away and letting Sig carry the weight of the show. Who did very well?
Carry the weight.
Who did very well in my absence? Now that I'm back, let's get back to the actual good stuff.
Hey,
Pipe down over there. Hey, yeah, stay in your corner.
No.
I put you back in the corner. You shut your mouth.
Nobody puts baby back in the corner.
It's not. It's all I thought was baby back ribs. The way you said it. Anyways, being back, gone for a minute, ignoring you. Yeah, we're moving on from anything you have to say right now.
It's the 50th episode, you stupid fuck.
Oh, that too. It is?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See? That's why I came back. Back for the 50th. The big 5-0. We made 50 fucking episodes.
I made 50 fucking episodes.
Together, we made 50 episodes.
No, together we made 48.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
You just said I did 2 episodes by myself.
Shut your mouth.
And that you're so proud of me.
50.
50. 5-0.
Not gonna lie, I didn't think it was gonna make it this far.
Not gonna lie, I didn't think we'd make it past the summer of last year.
50. For two guys that have honestly never met
In person.
I mean, yeah, we just randomly met on the internet through a dating app, and now we're doing this.
We don't talk about Bumble, okay, or Grindr. We be quiet about that. Nobody needs to know our business. But we are planning. This is the 50th episode. What?
50th episode. See, we finished the other sentences.
This is the 50th episode. But we also are planning this summer to do, like, him and I actually meet up in a local town, the halfway point, and actually do a podcast episode live. I don't know what we're fucking gonna do, but we're gonna meet up. So yeah, there'll be White Claws, there'll be some mics, there'll be separate bedrooms.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Now look, I'm Air Force. I get my own bedroom and with AC.
It's fine. I'll come kick the door down.
Like to see you try kick that.
I know what I'm doing. I've done this before.
Oh, you breach.
I'm gonna break my fucking ankle trying to kick a door in again.
I honestly would just open up the door and be like, "Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm going to bed."
Try to mule kick a door
now.
No, thank you.
No more towels, thanks.
Room service. Want me to jerk you off? What kind of hotel is this?
Fucking Family Guy. You need towels? No, I don't need towels. You need towels? No. I watch? What? I watch you have sex? What is going on here? We haven't watched us have sex? No. Okay, no.
Oh, get out of here. Go away. No more.
Anyways, yes, it's the 50th episode. By the time this actually comes out, we have just had our live stream, which you should be able to find up on YouTube, to celebrate 1 year, because we're also, I think when this episode comes out, I think it technically marks our 1 year from our first episode. I could be wrong.
It very well could. Go on you? I don't know. It's been a long time.
Something.
It's been a year.
A year of video editing, audio editing, rendering, processing, uploading.
Yeah. I mean,
deleting,
it's been rough.
Having to contact Rahgel, be like, "Hey, you go for the night?"
Yeah. Exactly. See, it's been rough. I mean, shit happens. Life happens.
No, your life.
But we made it. It's true.
I stay at home, as you said. That's not a job.
It's not. It's being a dad, which is also.
How's your application going for that?
It's
Has it
been
changed in
denied
2 weeks?
multiple times. I'm gonna submit it again here shortly.
Gotta wait the 30-day
I have
period.
references this time. Sadly enough,
you better hope
no.
I'm not one of them.
It's my kids.
You're screwed.
Yep.
The fun while it lasted. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Anyway, though, let's get into this episode, because this is going to be an interesting one, as I kind of did this on an episode where it's just me. So now that you're back, finally, we can do this together. Because sharing is caring. Or I'm told. So, not familiar with it. We're going to dive deep into the subreddits of Am I the Asshole and Malicious Compliance. I never had to ask if I'm the asshole. I know. I know. I instinctively know. My favorite people on this earth, the ones that say, "You're not an asshole. You don't know me." We have clearly never spoken more than 2 words. We're going to each end up reading off different stories and posts, and depending upon whether or not it's a malicious compliance post or an Am I the Asshole, we'll respond accordingly and give our thoughts. So, and of course, let us know what you think, and if we got any of these right. Like, I got so many of them right when I did this by myself, solo, without Rahgel. And then one of the more popular episodes.
You had to throw it in there, didn't you? You had to. You fuck. It did fairly well. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. It's so good watching the kids grow up. Just watch them grow up in front of you, becoming a better person. I'm proud of you. You've done so much for yourself.
Who said I became a better person?
Just by watching what you've done.
You need to rewatch the shit that I've done there, because that's questionable shit I've done. But I will let Rahgel read off the first one, since I've read off so many of these. So pick your subject and let's go.
There's so many. There's a ton. Some of these I don't want to read, because like, yeah, you are just by the title, I'm like, yeah, you're an asshole for that one.
But you gotta read the whole post, because sometimes the title is just the eye catcher, and then you read it and you're like, oh, you're not an asshole, but you sound like one. I mean, the malicious compliance ones are probably one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh, they don't stop. They never fucking stop. There's so many.
When I recorded the episode, I did not get past the first, I think, 15 at the time, because there were so fucking many. I was like, I'm not scrolling through this.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And you can see when they were posted too. You can see how many days ago.
Yeah, I know what they're like. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Like, where do I even start? These are so fucking. Some are like terrible.
I guess.
All right. So no. Yeah, go ahead if you got one already. There's so fucking many.
All right. Let's see. We're just gonna scroll and stop on one. Well, that's an ad. Oh no, that's a controversial one. Here we go. Short and sweet. So the title of this one is "Am I the Asshole for making a set list of rules for our Disney trip?" Immediate response: yes. Don't even care.
I've lived this one. I saw this one and I skipped over it because
No.
the person that did it listens to the
Get into
podcast.
The person that did this is in the podcast?
Listens to the podcast.
Seriously?
Yes. No, not the actual one that posts this, but I have somebody that's done this.
Oh. Even better, let's get into this. It says, hello, this is a throwaway account since my sister uses Reddit. Every single year, me and my two sisters take a girls' trip to a random location. This year was finally my turn to plan a trip, so I decided to book a trip to Disney World for 10 days. That is so many fucking days at Disney World. Anyways.
That is a lot.
That's so many fucking days. Anyways, my sisters were very excited about this trip, and so was I. But the booking process took a while, plus it was pretty costly. Well, we are leaving in a week, and I've created a set of rules for the trip. For example, no sleeping in past 8 a.m., rope dropping, or wear sneakers only due to lots of walking, etc. I sent my sisters this list today so they can know what to expect. They did not take it well and said that I was being very overdramatic and that this wasn't needed. I told them that this definitely was needed to get the best experience out of Disney World. We got in an argument over it and now they are no longer wanting to go on the trip. I thought that making this list of rules would make things easier for everyone and make it a more enjoyable time. But maybe I'm being dramatic. Am I the asshole?
I'll let you go. I've lived this. I'll let you go.
Here's the thing. Okay, 10 days at fucking Disney World is excessive. I'd never pay.
Expensive.
That too.
Also,
that's gonna be number 2. That's expensive. Because only like a few days is expensive. A week and a half, hella fucking expensive. Here's the thing. From my perspective, if you didn't call them rules and say, hey, here's some suggestions I think you should follow, this is what I'm going to do, probably not the asshole. But simply saying this will happen, the one that gets me the most is the 8 a.m. No sleep past 8 a.m. Fuck you. It's a vacation. I will sleep in until goddamn 8 p.m. if I want to. I don't care. So, but yeah, I don't know. We don't know how old these sisters are. So
I'm assuming if they can afford 10 days, they're adults, like
mom and dad's
doing
money.
fairly well.
Just saying. I
Maybe
know people in this area that go on Disney trips. And
that's very true.
So, based upon this, I would say the asshole, because you're saying they have to follow this for a more enjoyable experience. I'm one to say, fuck around, find out. You want to wear sandals all day? Okay. You don't get a bitch and complain, though. You get suffer in silence.
Okay, so for one thing, I mean, like you already covered it, 10 days. That does say Disney World for 10 days. I'm hoping like that's 10 days at Disney. Yes, Disney is big, but you could essentially see all of Disney in 2, maybe 3 days. You'd see all of Disney. Granted, there are other parks. Is World in Florida or California?
Oh, I get them mixed up.
I think Land's in California. I think Disney World's in Florida.
World is in Orlando, Florida.
Okay, so that's
the biggest one.
Okay, so I've been to that one once, and I just went like last year. First time I've ever been. My kids have been like multiple times.
Or is it in California?
I can't remember shit. I don't know, but also you have Universal and shit like that around. I'm assuming that's what they're going to go do as well. But like I said, it just says Disney World. That's a long fucking time to go to those. If they're just doing that, no, you don't have to be up at 8 a.m. Now, if doing what we did, when we go to some of these places with certain family members, a certain family member likes to plan things out. leave things exactly how they need to be, where we're going to be, what we're going to do.
I hope this certain person's not your wife.
To maximize efficiency of how things will be done. There's no stop. It's all floor it and let's go. Now, one thing I will say that is the benefit of this, of knowing where to go, when to go, and where not to go, benefits it because you're there at the very beginning. Okay, yes, we were up early, there early, and with our kids, everything else. So we did that, and we went the complete opposite way of everybody else. So you got to ride the rides. Right, that was the main thing we wanted to make sure we did. Kids got to ride everything they wanted. They enjoyed it. They loved it. But yes, we were on the go nonstop. There were a few things that I was like, I'm gonna just do this, which I could have, like talk to fucking Optimus Prime and shit like that. I did it. I didn't get to see Megatron, but whatever. There are some benefits to this, but if you're gonna lay it out like you said, the verbiage that she's using was not one that will work. It's gonna put people in a bad mood of like, no sleeping at past 8. Like, no. I'm on vacation.
Well, and now, if I'm paying for my vacation, I will do the fuck I want.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah. Typically, when I go on vacation, I'm on vacation. I'm not going to get exhausted on vacation. Yeah, I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy myself. I am going to probably indulge in multiple drinks and a lot of food and not move. So that's my whole aspect of a vacation, is to relax and enjoy myself. Now I have been on the other side of it, and I have been rushed and pushed and seen a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have seen, but holy shit, it's exhausting.
But here's the thing. I've never been to Disney World because the cost alone is too much for me. And not like financially, just like I cannot justify the means to it being as like, everyone's like, well, it creates memories. It's really good for your kids. They'll remember. My kids ain't old enough. I remember
you're right,
from my 5-year-old days, let alone when I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to take kids to Disneyland or Disney World where I have to listen to, I'm tired, my feet hurt, I don't want to walk. No. We go to that expensive route, we're going to wait till you're teenagers where you can walk your stupid asses by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But neither here nor there. If I pay for a vacation, and typically I think the most expensive vacation I've been on is with my wife, where we took a 5-day cruise. And even then, based upon the math, where it says on average cost per day is $268.50 per day / night, which equates for 3 people over 10 days is just over $8,000. That's a little unnerving. That's just to get into the park and stay at a local resort, hotel, whatever. Not fast pass or anything else. Disgusting. The most expensive trip I took is a Caribbean cruise with my wife a couple years ago, and we didn't go all out. We didn't get the drink pass. Fucking mistake. Should have got a drink pass. But we did exactly that. We drank a lot. Mm-hmm. We ate a lot, and we had a really good time. And we slept in till like 11 o'clock. And to put in perspective, my daughter had just turned 1. So we were sleeping because we didn't have a kid around us. We missed breakfast quite often and woke up around lunch. Mm-hmm. Maybe almost dinner time on a few occasions. But vacation's fun and enjoyable. And I personally, even like you said, you guys see some stuff you would never see. If I am rushed, I don't give a shit what I get to see. I am going to be miserable. And if I am miserable, I am going to regret this whole damn thing. And I'll be the first one to just be the biggest party pooper. Nope, I don't want to do this tomorrow. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going home. Now, granted, if I paid 10 fucking days at Disney World, it'd be more along the lines of, you know what? I'm gonna go do my own thing. I came. We can reconvene at the hotel bar, but I'm not going with you. I'm gonna sleep in past 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my own thing. So if you don't like it, piss off type thing. But phrasing it low, I think, is what gets her on this one. Is one, you making the rules, cool, whatever, but you expecting your sisters, your adult sisters, to just say, yeah, that's fine. We'll agree to these rules of which you set out for us, rather.
And that's one thing. Yeah.
Saying down, I think we need some rules. Let's talk.
And
about this.
And you're putting rules in the fact of like, before you even go, like, here's what we're doing. Like, no, it's like, now it's not even a vacation. Now it's your trip.
Yeah.
And now you're planning it. It kind of takes away from everything. So yeah, I would agree. In what we've read, yeah, they're the asshole just because of the way that they planned everything in that manner and said, this is what we're doing. Do this, do that, do this. So, but I mean, end of the day, they're adults that can make their own decisions too. But
I don't know about that.
The way it is.
Doesn't sound like it. I get it, like, so I know you're still looking for one yourself. I get they take turns picking out vacations and everything, and it was her turn, so like to a degree I understand that. Oh yeah, she wanted to set this out so we're maximum enjoyment for everybody, but still there's a degree of which, and there's a method of which you go about this, and you don't just say, here's a list, I made some rules for you. So yes.
Yeah. I got one. So, all right. Am I the asshole for flushing my husband's pot? The one that wrote this is a 33-year-old female. I've been married to her husband for 35 years. I'm sorry. Husband's 35, been married for 8 years. That math wouldn't add up at all. 2 small children, ages 6 and 4. Live in a state that weed is legal. Husband has a bad joint pain due to arthritis flare-ups. I've asked my husband on multiple occasions to put it up, lock it up, or put it up high out of the kid's reach. 2 days my children were being awfully quiet, and I go into the bedroom to find them trying to evenly split the cookie among themselves. I recognized the packaging immediately and grabbed it. Luckily, they didn't consume any. Then I noticed his leftover pot spread across his ashtray just on our desk in child's reach. I was so upset, I pushed it all together and took it to the toilet and disposed of it. When my husband got home, he was furious and said I had flushed a lot of money down the toilet. I told him I didn't care, and he should have kept it away from the kids, like I said. It was a cold night that night. He loudly complained of how bad his joints were hurting all night and how it was all my fault. I offered ibuprofen on different occasions and reminded him that this wouldn't be an issue if he would have kept it put up. He got angry and said I should have put it up then and not dump it down the toilet. I don't think I'm the asshole. He neglected to put it up out of our children's reach. I understand his body hurts, but I offered pain meds.
As someone who's lived off of ibuprofen, like the military, that's not pain meds.
No, not at all.
The damn Tic Tac at this point.
I'm just curious of what kind of joint pain.
The pain of not having a joint in his hand.
It's true. All right, I mean, so for one, you have kids and you leave it laying around, your kids can get to it. That's a problem. If you're going to be that negligent with it, I mean, you don't fucking deserve to have it. If you can't discreetly do it Me, it's like if I wouldn't, legal or not, I couldn't do it. Like it's fucking with my head right now. Because I like the fact that your kids can get to it, it makes me mad. Like if you're gonna have it, great, cool,
But how old
whatever.
are the kids again?
6 and 4.
Okay. As someone who has a 5 and 3-year-old,
Mhm.
I have alcohol in my house, in my office specifically. I have my CBD collection from Shell Shock in my office. Everything's easily accessible. Here's the thing though. My 5 and 3-year-old understand one very crucial rule. We don't fuck with my office. They understand you don't take anything from my office, even if I leave my rocket fuel, which is Delta 8 CBD. If I leave it out in the kitchen, they may pick it up and come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, what's this?" But at no point do they just untwist the cap and chug it or use the droplet. No. My 5 and 3-year-old seem to have more common sense than the 6 and 4-year-old, which would come back to, you didn't raise your kids right. I'm not going to judge other people's parenting styles. But the difference is if my 5 and 3-year-old can see this and go, oh, Dad uses this, it's probably not something I can have. Or they'll come up to me and say, hey, can I have some of this? No, that's the dad only thing. That's an adult item. You're not old enough to have that yet. Okay, thanks, Daddy. Move on with our lives.
And I can see that side and respect that side fully of like, yes, you're making it known what's there, what's not touched, everything like that. Also, you have the curious side of a lot of kids as well of, this is a cookie.
I
I
don't
love
have
cookies.
cookie. I mean, I have like candy in my office, which even then they don't touch. They'll try to sneak it out, but even then, like my son came to me today, and he had Christmas candy, and he's like, "Dad, can I have this?" Nope, go put it back. Pitches a fit and puts it up.
But
He's 3.
again, curiosity of kids is going to get the best of them at times. I'm not saying
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
everyone,
Right.
but I think the fact that
He gets
the
the best of me. I'm
negligence
32
of
years old.
the negligence of leaving it out so it can be seen, gotten to, or anything like that,
Nope.
just makes you think of what else could be left out at some point too. But just focusing on what they have here,
Yeah.
the cookie, the weed strung about. No, it's. I mean,
It's clear to say there's probably no. Oh, would boundaries be the proper word? Let's go with that. There's been no boundaries
I would
set
agree.
that this cookie is Dad's property only. We don't
Mhm.
touch Dad's cookies. Or you shouldn't eat something that you don't know what it is, or you shouldn't touch something you don't know what it is. I get curiosity gets the best of us. Again, I'm 32 fucking years old, and my dumb ass lets curiosity kill me at times.
Yeah.
So, 4 and 6-year-olds, I get it. But again, if you set these boundaries at any age, I have a 5 and 3-year-old, so they're younger, and we do this every day of setting boundaries, reconfirming boundaries, and basically establishing, even like my mic's hard, they look like sodas. My kids can see on my desk if they're up when we're doing one of these episodes, and they'll come in and be like, can I have a taste of that? No, sorry, you can't have a taste of it. If you know this part of it, it's like, no, you can't. Your mom says you can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things. They understand boundaries. We tell them this is mom and dad's only. This is adults only. Only we can have this. It's not for you. Even like actual soda, which should we be drinking as much soda as we do? No. But when my daughter sees us with the soda and she's like, why can you have soda and we can't? Because you're growing. You don't need to have all this crap in your system. We are done growing. The only thing of us that's growing is our stomach. So if my
true.
5 and 3-year-old can understand boundaries and can understand recognition that this cookie looks like something that Dad's had, I'm going to ask. Then okay, I get it. Now, same with leaving everything out though. If you're going to be super negligent about all this, I don't think pot's going to be like that's left out. I think something a little bit more severe with more severe ramifications could be left out. Whether it's something as simple as a knife, and it's sad to say simple, but something as simple as a knife, or something that has an automatic chamber or a hammer and chamber. You catch my drift?
And that's I wasn't trying to. I know exactly what you said. I was trying to not go into all that, but that is exactly what it could lead to. But also the other side of it too is somebody that like I deal with pain all day, every day.
What? Your army ass doesn't deal with
and
pain.
having to have something that takes that away, and not having that, I can see the frustration.
Oh,
no, ibuprofen is not gonna fucking fix that.
I mean,
when you have,
I run out of my shit and I get pissy.
Yeah, I mean, if he has arthritis flare-ups, shit is not gonna feel good, especially if it's cold. Holy shit. I mean, I can see the frustration, but I'm not gonna lie, I do see the side of the woman that wrote this of like, am I in the wrong for? I don't think I would have been in the wrong. I wouldn't be the one to flush it. I would just put it away and like, severe tongue lashing, scolding or something like, "Hey, fucker, like get your shit together," or next time it will be gone. Now, I didn't see anywhere how if it's done multiple times, like
that would be
the either. So that was left out. If it's a reoccurring thing, like it's always out, it's always there. No, it's fucking gone at that point then. But it doesn't say that.
I would agree because like again, if it's a like this has happened before. Granted, she didn't mention it, but this has happened like before that she's caught her kids dabbling with it and her husband just leaving out. Then absolutely, the first time, not really a pass, but more of a like, I'm going to take this from you. I'm going to put it up and you ain't getting it back and you're going to suffer at least a night or two. And then I'll give it back to you. Because guess what? Pain teaches you not to do it again.
And it is very vaguely in that too. It does say 2 days. So I don't know if this is back-to-back days, 2 random days, and it says they're quiet and she goes into the bedroom. Is it their bedroom or the kid's bedroom? You know, and that can break it down too. Like your bedroom,
take it.
Was it in your bedroom? They took it out into their bedroom because I would hope that he's not leaving their cookies. If he's leaving cookies in their bedroom, and an ashtray full of weed or whatever in their bedroom, that's a problem.
You mean you don't do that on a Tuesday night?
If it's in your bedroom and you have this stuff essentially put in your space, and yes, kids get it, we have them. They're going to be sneaky, they're going to take shit, they're going to try, and if there's something they really want, they're going to try and get to it no matter what. But again, it's so vaguely written that
well, I mean, that brings up a good point, though. If it's like the adult's bedroom, and the kid snuck into there, and he had it just laid about. Here's kind of the thing, though, and I get it. 6 and 4 children, literally toddlers. I get it. Where you're expecting privacy in your room, and this is where boundaries come into play. It is. Maybe my wife and I are just different, but our kids understand you don't just go and play in mom and dad's room. You don't go and play in mom and dad's dresser. You don't go play in mom on top of the dressers because there is stuff in and outside of our room or inside our room and like dresser and closets, everything that's not meant for children. And you don't need to be playing with it. But if you don't teach that, then there's nothing there to really scold. But this is happening like they're going into your bedroom where your husband expected to like not have to worry about this because it's his private space technically. Then I get it to the degree, but at the same time, it's also pot. And looking into all the research and I can confidently say this after being raised up of very, very conservative Christian Catholics who are pot's bad. There's nothing good about pots. There's a lot of beneficial stuff, but we're not going to get to that now. it's not going to be detrimental and hurt the kid to the point of like you're taking them to the hospital. Depending upon what they do and how much they get, maybe just have a really bad trip because they're 4 and 6. But still, he fucked around. He found out. I don't think she's a complete asshole, but she's still an asshole to the degree of if you saw this, you could have easily taken all up, scolded your kids, then went and just scolded the ever loving shit out of your adult partner, and then at a later point sent everybody down and be like, you need to explain to them why you take this. You need to explain why they're not allowed to have it. And set those boundaries rather than just assume that a 4 and a 6-year-old are going to understand that this leafy green powder is dad's only. Like, there's so much missing from this story. So, yes, you're an asshole, but I get it too. Like, he fucked around and found out, and your reaction was flush it down the toilet. But you're still an asshole because ibuprofen's not a painkiller.
No, not at all.
As someone who lived and breathed ibuprofen for years.
I'm not gonna lie, the 500 milligram ones are great if you can swallow it. Fucking horse pill they give you, but
You ever had the 3200s?
we weren't allowed those. We've seen them. Oh yeah, I've seen the unicorns. They're around. I was never given one.
We were never allowed Vicodin, but we could have those.
Oh,
Those suckers are huge, and I cut that shit up into 8s. Because I can't swallow pills to begin with.
No, I've seen the 3200s. Yes. Never got to ride the dragon on that one. Nope. Never got one of those. I think the 500 was mostly got, and man, those were fucking big pills.
They were so huge.
Well, when you take 2 or 3 of them and chase them with the boom boom, man, you feel fucking amazing.
Yeah, you know what made you feel even more amazing? If you took it with I can't think of the black licorice all of a sudden. Not legal here. Why just draw a blank of it? I have it in my liquor cabinet. Oh my god. That's soju. Absinthe, there we go.
Oh, absinthe?
You take a 3200 with a shot of absinthe.
Do you see little green guys floating around and dancing?
I saw about 15 minutes.
I took it on Monday. I woke up on Thursday.
I took it on Friday, and I woke up Sunday morning with a lot of information missing at a random buddy's house that I don't remember meeting up with. I was out of it. That's putting it lightly.
Now, did you when you took the absinthe, did you put the sugar cube in it?
Yeah.
Or did you just take it
properly?
Okay.
Silver spoon over blue fire. Oh yeah, the dudes did it like properly. I was at a pub, for lack of better words.
Okay, so it wasn't an alley, and that wasn't heroin. Okay, that's good. It's good. That's good that you're in a pub, so it was legit absinthe. It
was in the Red Lion down in Kaiserslautern, and it was like 7-8 o'clock at night.
So maybe no syringe, right? Okay, yeah. So okay.
No.
So you're
lots of fire, but no.
Lots of fire, but no. Okay. Yeah, I've never. Man, I saw a lot of absinthe, but I never tried it.
I hate black licorice, but if you do it properly, it's good.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You have to do the sugar cube on a silver spoon, and that's where a lot of people mess up because they either like drop the sugar cube or they'll melt the sugar cube and then mix it. Like there's a certain specific method you do this in, and if you deviate even the slightest, like the different spoons have like it gives off a flavoring to it because they heat the spoon up.
Yeah, they had the spoons. Like, this is only from the like Germany airport. They had the spoons, but they would have almost like a slotted spoon as well with the heat point on it.
Yeah, think about like if you've seen Nightmare Before Christmas, Sally when she's feeding the professor, it's that slotted type spoon. Yeah, it's where it drips in there very slowly.
Okay, so it's not just like a legit spoon and you're heating a puddle of
no,
and then dumping it in. Okay, so it is trickling in. Okay. Yeah. So it is that way. All right. I've never seen it done. I've just saw the spoons.
I may have videos, but I don't know if I want those videos to surface or not. So, because they have not made their round on social media or the internet, and I don't know if I want those on social media or internet. So,
if you question it, don't do it. It's the best way to live it.
Not so much me; it's so much like everyone else around me at the time. And maybe me.
Yeah. Maybe me, maybe not.
I don't know. It's very questionable. It was a different time and era. All right, I'm going to hop over to Malicious Compliance, which is another amazing subreddit. If you've never been on it, it's just amazing. I love it. But the title is, please make sure you're adhering to the employee handbook guidelines on clocking in and out. I can already tell you, as someone who's worked retail, I have manipulated the shit out of a time clock. So, I'm sure I can relate to this. Let's get after it. It says, I work Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. I am an hourly employee and my company's time clocking is not rounded, meaning we are effectively paid by the minute. I usually clock in at 7:20 because it does give me a bit of easy overtime pay. Get it? I used to do that shit all the time. And it allows me a few quiet minutes in the morning to check some emails and enjoy my coffee. A few of my other coworkers clock in early every day too, between 10 and 15 minutes early. Our manager doesn't mind because we are a productive and reliable team. We all clock out at 4 o'clock on the dot, unless we are held up by a meeting or some other obligations. Well, we had a staff meeting on Friday, and our supervisor mentioned that the higher-ups are starting to watch OT and people's clocking time, so to please ensure we are all adhering to the company's time and attendance policy, and to review the employee handbook for further information. So I review the handbook. The policy states that employees are to punch in no sooner than 7 minutes prior to the start of their time. Fair enough. I will start clocking in at 7:23 then. I continue reading and learn that employees may clock out up to 7 minutes after their scheduled in time without violating that time and attendance policy. So now instead of 7:20 to 4 p.m., I will be clocking in at 7:23 and clocking out at 4:07, giving myself 4 additional minutes of additional time every day. I've done this so many times. Specifically Walmart, where you are allowed to clock in 15 minutes early. And I would sit in the break room.
And you get paid for that 15 minutes, correct? Is it considered overtime?
If I hit my 40 hours that week, yep.
Okay.
I know people who would clock in 15 minutes early, sit in the break room, go use the bathroom, and then at the end of their shift, they would go sit in the break room, go sit in the bathroom, and clock out 15 minutes late, or 15 minutes after their shift, acquiring 30 minutes of extra time every day of the week that they worked, guaranteeing virtually 2.5 hours of overtime, which is time and a half in most places.
Yeah. Growing up, my mom worked at Walmart. I'm conflicted in the fact of like, I understand you work at Walmart, working retail, you hate your life. Like, I've never met anybody that's ever worked retail and legitimately said, I enjoy it. I love what I do. But to an extent, you're gonna hate.
Enjoy it.
That's why you still do it.
Well, I own my own retail shop now, so technically.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you don't work day in, day out with people anymore.
No, because I took the job and the mantle of stay-at-home dad.
But the fact
at this
of
point,
like,
I would rather work retail than work with my 3-year-old son who's a terrorist.
this style of job, and I've worked retail as well. It kills your life.
It makes you an introvert really quick.
It does very, very quickly. You live by the clock, you die by the clock, and you try to screw the clock as much as you can because you feel you're getting screwed by the clock as well. In the job that I work now, I love what I do, and I pay close attention to my hours. I make sure I'm not over, not under, and it's a little different with ours because we have a precedence of we make and lose money for the company, which in turn that comes back to us in the long run because we partially own the company as well. And it does drive me nuts on an integrity part, but I also get it of like the shit that people in retail have to deal with. Anything extra you can get to benefit yourself. What's that?
That's called the customers.
Anything you can get to benefit yourself when dealing with that shit, you fucking do it. Like, I know when I did, I fucking hated it. And I was just like, I hate this job. I hate this company. I'm working and I will get everything I can out of this to make money. And I don't care.
And see, honestly, like, I one of my first jobs, as a proper working age, 15. So I did have jobs from like 10 all the way up to 15, from mowing neighbors' lawns for, at the end of it, I was getting paid $70 to $80 a yard. That was like very small plot. I'd get done in 20 minutes. But I was a lawyer, paid me well. To working with DeKalb / Monsanto in the sorghum fields or the corn fields or the wheat fields, wherever the crop was in the season, to Walmart. Walmart was like my first official adult job, so I had to pay taxes even though I wasn't representative. I gotta get that one even. But at 15, I worked for them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the crew I was working with. I enjoyed the people I was working with. For the most part, I enjoyed the customers. I was also a cashier, and I worked in high school where really it favors you, because if they couldn't really penalize you for missing work as long as you had a school function. Mm-hmm. Now, they very rarely checked in on said school functions because I worked in a city that was about 20 minutes away from my school. So if I just was having like a piss day and I didn't want to go to work, I could literally call my manager and say, hey, something at school came up. Okay, have a good day. Like, that was the end of it. They couldn't inquire why, they couldn't inquire what, they couldn't ask for the teacher's name, the principal's name. Like, they couldn't ask any function. They just had to go off my word. Did this mean I manipulated that system? Yes. Mm-hmm. I manipulated to go on dates with girls in the city I worked. And even show up to Walmart. And they'd be like, I thought you had a school function. Oh, yeah, I just ended. Like 10 minutes ago. Your shift started 30 minutes. Yeah, you told me I was going to be late. If I'm going to be 15 minutes late, I might as well just not show up. So, here I am.
And that's
this girl that I'm with.
You're a teenager at that point, too. I mean, if you're not cheating the system, you're not trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
At that point as well. I mean, you're going to learn the ins and outs. You're going to push the limits. You're going to push the boundaries of things. You're not going to know when you're wrong until you're told you're wrong.
Yeah.
even in your head, it's still right. It's okay because you're justifying it. And you don't, I mean, you give two shits if you would have a job sometimes.
Yeah.
Granted, growing up, like I was like, I need a job. I have to have money. I live in a small town. Like I need money. I need something to survive without having to depend on my parents because it gets old having to ask for money all the time.
Yep.
So I want money. I want to be able to do it. So I do it. And I had to make sure that I had some way of getting income. So yeah, you would have these jobs, but when you wanted to enjoy yourself, oh yeah, I had many times where I came up sick a few days in a row. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, didn't work Saturday, Sunday. Like, yeah, 5 days off. You know, I wasn't even in town and I was calling in sick. See, I mean, I'm in a whole nother state. I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm not gonna make it to work today. No matter what, I wasn't going to work that day anyways because I was out of state.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, fuck, I even forgot what the whole thing was about. We started talking about that shit.
Retail time clock.
Oh yeah, no, if you're not, if you're allowed to do it, do it. I mean, get what you can. If they're gonna start snapping down on it outside of, because obviously they can't take it away if it's in the company manual.
Yep.
Or handbook or whatever. So it's there. It's their doctrine. That's what they go by. That's what you're gonna have to go by.
I will say, this is kind of where my nerdy side always prevails, is fucking read your company bylaws, your rules, your regulations, the handbook, whatever you want to call it, because one, it will help you succeed in your field.
Mhm.
And two, it will protect you when some dickish manager wants to try to make you do something that you actually are not supposed to do. But most importantly, it's the best way to abuse the system. Because you can ride that coattail so much. Where, like, again, in high school, granted, I will say this again, I used to love Walmart. Up until about 4 years ago when 5 years ago when a bunch of stuff inside the company just went south. They changed a bunch of things and I didn't like it anymore. But working for the company in my high school years, they said you had to wear khakis. Doesn't say anything about like what style of khakis, even though it was always unspoken rule of pleated or flats. You don't wear anything with pockets or anything. Bylaws didn't say that, so my ass walked in with khaki colored cargo pants. Why? Because it had pockets. And I could hide my phone in my pockets. And they were not allowed to look inside your pockets. They could not suspect you to have a phone unless they could visibly see the outlines of a phone. And granted, this was like flip phone and the rumor and the sidekick era. So there was none of this touchscreen.
But I'm
T9
also
all the
sure
way.
I'm also sure that you were allowed to have a phone if there was a chance of a family emergency that
Not back then.
was in the cans. Because
Not
if
back
that
then.
was
The cell phones were still relatively new
no,
for
that would
everyone to
be
have
true.
them.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like, again, this is the other reason why I left Walmart when I was 18 because I joined the service, and then I joined Walmart back afterwards because I found out about the USERA Act, where they had to give me all the pay raises,
you're that
all
guy.
the promotions. So I went I was one in high school. Keep in mind,
You're
in
that
high
fucking
school,
guy.
freshman year, I was making 12 something an hour. This is several years ago. Over a decade ago. We're not going to count the years. But shut up. Over a decade and a half ago, I made $12 an hour. By the time I left Walmart, I was making damn near $19 an hour as an 18-year-old. When I got back from my military time and I used the USERA Act, I was finally promoted to just like a step above where I was because I was already a manager, so they couldn't make me a sectional manager or assistant manager at the time. So I couldn't become that. I got to pick my position. And I went from $19 an hour to just over $30 an hour. And then I got screwed because I met my wife and they wouldn't transfer me up here to where I live now.
I wonder why.
They didn't have a fucking position for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was the case, I've done the math. If that was the case, because they take into account the 20 years of when you started, I started when I was 15, I would be able to be retiring, if I chose to, here in the next about 3 years. I could start collecting retirement if I want to. It wouldn't be much, but I could work till like I'm 45, 55, 65 and have a hell of a retirement from Walmart. But I got screwed. Whatever. Neither here nor there. Your turn for story.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't blame him. I'm like, get your money how you can.
Do it the legal way. That's all I ask. Or don't tell anybody you do it the illegal way. Just shut your mouth if you do it the illegal way. That's just a rule of thumb.
Oh my gosh.
There's so
All
many.
right, here we go. Nope, I'm just gonna pick one. Okay. Am I the asshole for? I'm going back to the. Am I the asshole ones?
Fine. That's fine.
All right. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to pay for my girlfriend's car maintenance after I used it with permission once while pet sitting for her? Holy shit, this is kind of long. Okay. My girlfriend, who is 28, was traveling and asked me, he's 30, to stay at her place and look after her dogs. She told me I could use her car for anything I needed during my stay. She has 2 cars, and did not specify which one. A Porsche 911 and a Toyota Camry. All right, see where this is fucking going. I use the Camry most of the times, but took the Porsche for a short road trip to a hiking trail, and I hired a dog sitter that day. We did have fun with it in an empty field, but nothing too extreme or going over what the car is rated for. Okay. When she got back, she noticed the Porsche was more dirty. I did not leave it extremely dirty or anything, just a normal amount of dirty. And asked me if I used her car. I said I did, but only once. She got upset and said that I should have known when I said the car, she meant only the Toyota, and she also refers to the Porsche as the Porsche or the GT3. She herself only uses the car for special occasions and sometimes takes it to the track. And I thought our trip counted as a special occasion. She got the car checked and she claims it felt different. And came back with an incredibly expensive maintenance quote and told me I should pay for the suspension and undercarriage damage parts of the bill. I feel like she is being an asshole. I only used it for one day and said I did not know. Maintenance was part of the deal and I felt tricked. I offered to pay for the whole service of the Camry the next time it needs it. She got the other car knowing the maintenance too high for her hobbies and is trying to shift the maintenance cost to me. Am I the asshole?
No. To me, that just sounded like a setup.
Okay, hold on. There's an edit to this one.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I did not know you could not use the car in fields, which I don't know what fields means. And then in parentheses it says, well, I know, but I thought one that was relatively flat would be okay if he drove slow. And my friend really wanted to try the car and pressured me to let him try it in the field, even though I was reluctant, but he assured me it would not cause any damage. I will pay the bill in the case and maybe the whole bill. I could afford it and doubt my friend would pay for it. In the first place, I wanted to fetch my Subaru out back from my place. We could store my stuff. He just kind of rambles on. So
Yeah, you're the asshole. Never mind.
outside of the edit, you're babysitting. These are dog sitting. Okay. Left with 2 cars.
A
I'm
really
sorry.
nice
If I
car.
see a Porsche, if I see a Porsche and a Camry, no, I'm gonna want to drive the Porsche.
Oh, yeah,
Will I
me
take the
too.
Camry? Yes, I will take the Camry. But yes, I will probably drive the Porsche as well. And there's probably times I'll drive the Porsche more than the Camry. I mean, let's be honest. If I have the ability to drive it, I'm going to drive it. The whole thing with driving it through a field, I mean, being Midwest in a
Yeah,
field,
I think
you don't drive a car through a fucking field.
trucks you do.
Yes. Now, I don't know where they live. I don't know what the field means. But you don't drive a car through a field. Granted, or even a fucking Porsche. I wouldn't drive the Camry to a fucking field.
I have.
And you know exactly what happens. It's not the easiest ride. It's
I
not a
know
good
that about
ride.
my dad.
Well, you're driving it through the backyard. It doesn't count.
No, it was a wheat field that was dead.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you have a good chance of puncturing tires and everything else. If you drive it through a cornfield, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I mean, is she in the wrong? Fuck no. Why would she have to clarify which cars to use, which cars not used? Obviously, she's not upset that he used it. She's just mad because he fucked it up.
It also
And
sounds
then-
like, though, there may have been something with the Porsche. Because maybe that's just my brain going, maybe she did something to it, hoping he would take the Porsche to then be like, bro, something's messed up. You fucked this up and I paid for it. I'm not saying that's how it was. I know how humans are.
Yeah.
I could see Rahgel doing that. Hey, say you could borrow this car for 2 days. Bring it back. Hey, the undercarriage is fucked up. I didn't fucking drive it anywhere. Well, you owe me $5,000. I didn't fucking drive it at all.
But also, if you're driving a Porsche through a field, they're low to the ground anyways. You're gonna fuck that car up. Now, going to the edit, it wasn't even him that drove it.
No,
He let his buddy drive it.
Who was not authorized to drive.
Yeah.
So yes, he was the asshole.
Yes. Even by throwing in the edit part, yeah, you let your buddy drive your girlfriend's car, who apparently does fairly well if she has a fucking Porsche.
Petefinder.com.
So, I mean, whatever, I guess. But yeah, you're the fucking asshole on that one there, buddy.
Yeah. That's one of those weird ones, like, it definitely could have went either which way, but I'm not a car guy. But one thing I do know is low riding cars to the ground do not do well off-road.
No.
Anywhere. They're not designed to leave the streets. So
No, and like it says, she takes it to the track. So apparently she knows what she's doing when it comes to driving cars, if she's taking it to the track.
honestly, I thought she took it to like the horse tracks to go like bet. I was like, ooh, she's rich, and not the speedway track. Just saying,
No.
that's how my thought. How my thought process went. Oh, all right, cool. Go bet on horses with your Porsche. Ooh.
Nope,
Okay.
I know it's racetrack. Cement racetrack.
Why is it gotta be cement?
That's what you drive it on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you say so. Oh shit, this is the long one. Oh, we're gonna get through it. Ugh. I'm sure this is gonna piss you off because I read the title. Welcome to Dad Life. Alright, we'll do two more. One me, one you, and be done.
All right.
Alright. So, this starts off. The title is Am I the asshole for not letting my family hold
my 7-month-old child.
Okay.
We've all been there, and I'm just gonna start off. I've had my daughter in 2017, and I had a COVID baby, so I get it. Anyways, let's get after it. Oh, all right. So I'll start by saying I have 3 older brothers and an older sister, and I'm the youngest in the family. Apart from my sister, who doesn't have kids, I'm also the last one to have any children and gave birth to my son 7 months ago. I live in a different city from my family, about 2 hours away from them, so I don't see them often. Except for my parents and sister, the rest of the family have only met my son once at a family event when he was 4 weeks old, because they have never come to visit and we don't have a car, so visiting them isn't easy for us. It would include about 3/4 legs of public transportation. I'm reading this like verbatim. I'm not stupid. I know how to read. But anyways, my parents, however, come visit often and have taken him overnight a couple times to give us a break. I will say, though, that my mom has always had a habit of handing him to extended family members to hold and feed him. A few days ago, we had another family event, so we got on a few trains and made our way there. As soon as we got there, we told my mom that our son was just getting over a cold, so we didn't want him passed around everyone in case he got worse or gave it to others. As soon as everyone arrived, my mom took him and passed him around to other people's, and so did my sister, always offering someone else a cuddle. Here's where I might have been the asshole. Whenever he was passed to one of my siblings, I went and took him back because he just didn't feel comfortable. Because we didn't feel comfortable with him being passed around like a toy at people he doesn't know. He was tired the whole time, and we just wanted him with us because we aren't used to being around everyone with him, and felt quite protective whenever we could see him starting to get upset. Whenever we repeated to my mom, it was just her we were handing him to because he has been ill and is tired, but he is used to her, so she just brushed us off. My mom called us upset with me that I wasn't letting my siblings bond with him, and that we kept getting up and taking him back, like we didn't trust them, even though we have all had children of our own and know that what they are doing. Okay, this is not from America. This is not real English. Sorry. She said I was being an asshole by not trusting her family, my family, and letting them get to know my son better. But it's not about that. It's about us not feeling comfortable with our 7-month-old son being passed around like a toy to people he doesn't know. I know they are family, but he still doesn't know them because they haven't tried to meet us. And I just don't think that taking him from us and passing him around in a busy new environment for him is how he will bond with people. There's 2 edits. So you want to make your judgment now or wait?
So bottom line, they're asking if they're the asshole for taking the baby away.
Taking their child back.
Okay.
Every time their mom passes the baby around like a toy after being told don't.
Okay, so I can see 2 sides of this one. One, your kid's sick. Why are you anywhere else right now if your kid isn't feeling good? That's your get out of jail free card. Oh, my kid's sick. I can't make it to the family function. I'm sorry. My kid's not feeling well. I'm home. Okay. Other one, you go. And if your kid's being passed around like a cookie jar, I get it. No, give my kid back. One, they don't feel good. I don't want you holding them. It's my kid. Leave it alone. And if it's extended family or random people, no, get fucked. I don't care. No, you're not holding my kid. I don't know you. If I don't know you, you're not holding my. I'm assuming they say 4-week-old. Or they
No,
kind of
so
age at that point?
the first time he met the family was when he
It
was
was
4
4 weeks.
weeks
Okay.
old. He's now 7 months.
Yeah, still, so under a year at that point, and still like, no, you're not going to pass my kid to some random ass people. If I don't know them, the wife doesn't know them, the mom is friends with them. Like, no, it's not okay.
Well, it sounds like this is all family, but still, this is family that has never
Okay.
bothered to reach out and meet him or get to know him. Grant, 7 months old, not much to know.
Yeah.
Come and hang out with the mom and dad. So, yeah, it's all family from the post.
So I mean, yeah, it does sound like it's. I mean, you're taking trains and stuff like that, so it does sound like a very remote area.
Sounds like it's overseas.
Maybe English,
Honestly.
yeah, England style or something like that.
Europe.
Yeah. I mean, you have extended family like that to where you are a few hours away. Not everybody can do it. I do see the side of trying to get some time with the new baby, but also it falls back to the parents of like, no, I don't want you there. They don't want them there. I mean, it's their kid, their decision. I get it. Not going to judge on that part. If you don't want your kid with somebody, that's what it is. I mean, bottom line, that's the way I see it, I guess.
No, I mean, I agree. Like before, this really comes down to like, it's probably worse as adults when we have our own kids and our parents or siblings have that sense of entitlement or like, I've done this before. I don't need you, my kids, tell me how to handle a baby, even though we're setting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's our child. And I've said this before to family, I don't give a fuck if you've raised kids before. This is my child, not yours. So you can do what I say or not see child anymore. This is not a negotiation. It's my way or the highway. My child, piss off. So I completely get this, like not wanting the child to be passed around, especially if he just got over being sick. But again, why the fuck are you out and about?
That's the first part, yeah.
But at the same time, it's cool. It's a family function. I get coming from my background where there's 150, 250 of us for a family function. Absolutely, I'd be pissed off if my mom took the baby and just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
No, not how it works. So, I don't think she's the asshole in this. I think your family's a fucking asshole.
And
You told your
that
mom
was the first
stop. Told her no. So,
and they just brushed it off. And that was the first kid born, correct?
That's her first kid. Yeah.
In the family, though, I don't think any of the other siblings had kids.
No, because she says I'm the last one to have any children, and gave birth to my son 7 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's just the youngest of the family. But wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Edit 1. Thank you everyone for your opinion. I don't know if I made this clear, but anytime I took him back, it was when I could see him getting upset or picked up on a cue from him. I wrote this pretty quickly in the heat of a moment discussion with my husband, so it didn't really explain properly. It's not that I didn't let anybody hold him at all. One of my brothers even fed him. It was more the issue that when I handed him to someone, they would then hand my son off to someone else. I would never hold someone else's baby and then just pass the baby off to another person without at least checking with the parents first. That's what I'm truly upset more than anything. Edit 2. This post has made me think about how I feel about people not visiting and interacting with us, and something I'm going to chat with my siblings and family about so we all can figure out blah blah blah. Okay. I get it. I would never hold one of my nieces and be like, hey mom, take this child. I'd go give my niece or my nephew back to my sibling and be like, take your baby back. I'm done. It's ran its course. Here you go.
No, I mean, if I'm sitting with family holding a niece or nephew or something like that, and I'm like, all right, I have to go to the bathroom. Grandma's right there, uncle's right there. I'm like, hey, hold the baby. I have to go to the bathroom. It's like, and the mom or dad isn't like anywhere near. I wouldn't say. I was like, okay, I'll be right back. Type thing like that. I could pass them off at that point. Or I'm just like, hey, I've got to go do something. Pass them off to somebody that in my head I know is a trustworthy person enough to handle what's going on,
Yeah.
which typically is a family member. A lot of times,
Immediate family member, yeah.
yeah, you have. I'm not saying like, oh, hey, random person like that I just met here, take the kid. Like, no, I'll look for a family member or somebody that I know that can just like take the kid.
I'll
be back.
My family gatherings are so huge. So that's like I do mean like immediate cousins, generation one, my aunts and uncles, my grandma, and past grandpa. There's 147 of us.
Mhm.
Grandma and grandpa got busy, and then everybody else got busy.
Nice.
Here we are. But there's with my niece having a child recently, making me a great uncle. My grandma is now, I think, a 4-time great grandma.
Damn.
And she's not 100 yet. I think she just pushed 90s, early 90s. But and even then, many generations, we all tend to get together, at least 90% of us. There's always hundreds and hundreds. So my family, like my mom, my dad, my sister, my 3 brothers, we all will typically sit together. So yeah, if I'm going like, I have one of my nieces or nephews, I would be like, hey, man, take your kid back. I gotta go pee. But if they're getting out food or whatever, sure. Catches though, I would not give the baby. I would give the baby to one other sibling or my mom or dad.
But the trustworthy ones to give it to.
I know the ones I like and trust that shit would not go
Yeah.
south.
And that's kind of what I meant. Like, who to give it to, you know who to give the baby to or whatnot. Yeah.
We all
That's what I
have
was like,
kids, but the one I trust
yeah.
does not have kids.
Which, some people without kids still have that caring, nurturing effect to them that they can handle it, even though they don't have kids.
It's
Some,
almost like we meet uncles
I
between
get
the age
it.
of 12 and 14.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
11 and 14 technically.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it for sure. I definitely get it.
I was the same way though. Like when we had my daughter shortly after, because I know you're looking for one. We had to go up to KC for my brother's reception for when him and his husband got married, and we didn't let anybody hold our child. But again, she was not even 4 weeks old, so we didn't hand her off to really anyone. Like if we handed my daughter off to anybody, it'd be my mom, my dad. I don't remember which grandparent it either made it because again, my gay brother married his gay husband. Family wasn't very happy about it. I didn't care. Or I handed him off to my brother or his husband. There's only like 4 people I would, and I was very quick to be like, if you need to do something, give the baby back to us because or my wife. I wasn't. My wife was breastfeeding at the time, so it's not like anybody else could feed him or feed her rather. Like it not wanting to pass around a baby, but again, not even a month old when this took place for us. So I get it. And like we said, if we know the person and we know they can be trustworthy, of course, but still. Boundaries. You told the mom no. The mom disrespected that. No.
Yes.
End of story.
True. Yep.
On to the last one with yours.
All right. Am I the asshole for dropping out on my brother's best man a couple days before his wedding? My brother, 36, got married this past weekend. I was supposed to be his best man. The wedding was 12 plus because The wedding was 12 plus because they didn't want to have to deal with toddlers and such. Okay, so
Age.
12 plus age, deal with toddlers and such, which is fair enough. A lot of guests do not have young kids though, so they decided to have a venue nearby with a professional sitter if parents wanted to drop kids off there. My wife has some injuries that make her slow to respond / understand what others are saying, and she needs help sometimes with her food. I'll cut it up to small pieces. Doesn't mean she's nothing, and she's a smart, capable woman. They had a rehearsal dinner. They had a rehearsal dinner at the end. My SIL, significant
Sister-in-law.
sister. There you go. Yeah, my sister-in-law pulled me. What the fuck does that? Sister-in-law pulled me aside, saying she had to discuss something with me. She said they told us about the additional venue they'll be having for their wedding. I said yes. Then she asked if my wife had any particular food preferences, and they would order extra food for her if they needed to. I was extremely confused and told her we already gave our meal choices, but she said my wife would be better suited at a second venue. I remember just sorting and staring. Oh my gosh. I remember just sort of staring at her for a bit and asking if she was serious, that she expected my wife to be with the babysitter. Sister-in-law said it's not like that, and that they're just looking out for my wife. And I don't have to feed her or anything, and you can have fun at the wedding. Okay, I see where it's going now. My brother came over, and I told him I literally never heard such shit, that they think my wife is a child left for a sitter. Brother said it's for the best, and if I want, I can always go over and check on her. I feel like I have to read like a fucking 2-year-old right now. I told him if this is the way they're treating my wife, I have no desire to be part of this shit show, and dropped out of the best man. Well, all hell broke loose, and some people agreed I was right, but my parents' text called and everything saying that they don't agree with me either, but this is their choice, and to get over my ego and come. I didn't end up going. I did hear they got one of the groomsmen to give a speech, and overall it was fine. My brother sent me a text saying he expected better from me. I replied back saying I expected better from him. My sister-in-law sent a long-ass text that I ruined their big day on purpose and made them look bad. Sorry, I wouldn't have a fucking family after that. I mean, hands down. You're not going to put my wife, who has obviously a need for... I mean, a need for help in a lot of different ways, and leave her with a fucking babysitter? No, not happening at all.
Children's babysitter at that.
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly. And no, it's an adult who has that, and the sister-in-law, oh, it's so you can have fun. No, that's not how it works at all.
I would lose my ever-loving shit.
Yeah.
And I could say this openly and honestly, that again, and maybe shit the priest said at our wedding sticks with me a lot more than anything else. But through thick or thin, I have my wife's back. She has mine, regardless of who it is that we're going up against. I don't give a shit if you're family, or you're some friend, or some fucking hobo off the street. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You will not treat my wife that way. So, like, even my kids, to a point, like, them yelling or screaming or saying hateful things to my wife, really quick go, that's not just your mom, that's my wife. You will not talk to her that way. You will not behave that way to her. Mm-hmm. My mom or dad, or let alone a sibling, be like, hey, your wife needs to be at the second venue. Like, there'd be no discussion. Like, okay, well, here's the option. Mm-hmm. You can go fuck yourself. Or you can grow up, be an adult, and she's coming to the wedding, or else I will not be there. Those are really your two options. Grow the fuck up, or fuck off. Like, that's
Because clearly there is no respect
No,
at that
not
point.
not at all.
They don't give a shit about his wife, and that's like that'd be a whole no contact situation. Be like, nope, you know what? You showed your true colors. Thank you. Just so you know, we're done, and you better hope we don't have a family, because if we do, you'll never find out.
Yep.
Fuck
You
off.
picked your side. You picked where you stand. That's where it is, and that's where your beliefs are. So no, not at
Somebody's
all.
favored in the family. It's not him.
Yes, apparently. And then the other one is looked at as having a nuisance on their hands. Of like they need a break, which is
so
not.
bad.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, that's not.
There's
Man, I would. Wow.
like I'm thinking this is all happening over like phone, and all I can think of is, God, so lucky this doesn't happen in person, because it'd be, oh, okay. You know who else can be at the other venue? You, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
But it was at the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, I must have.
Yeah, they had a rehearsal dinner at the
somebody's
end.
catching hands.
My sister-in-law pulled me aside saying she had to discuss something with me. She said they told us to have an additional venue.
Because you said Sill.
Yes,
What's Sill? That's like.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what? I had no fucking clue.
It's okay.
So, yeah.
I'm on Reddit a lot. TikTok, Reddit,
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah, and that's what they asked if they had any particular food preferences.
No, I would.
And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, what the fucked up thing is the sister-in-law is having this conversation, not his brother.
No, that's because it's the wedding. And I'm sure the sister-in-law told the brother, hey, you need to go tell him this. And he said, no, I'm not going to do this. And then she goes, well, fine, if you won't, I will. And again, it put him in the predicament of, shit, my wife just said this. And we can either start on a bad foot with my wife or a bad foot with my family. And he chose his wife. Rightfully so. Stupid, but rightfully so. And, like, that's a big red flag in of itself. My ass would have either thrown hands with my brother and be like, hey, come here. Your fiance just told me that my wife can't come. You care to elaborate a little bit more about this? And
Yes,
if
and
anything,
she said,
I would do at the rehearsal dinner. I'd be like, oh, question. Pick me. Oh, I know that's not school, but you're going to pick me. What's this I hear about my wife? My wife, your sister-in-law, your daughter-in-law, not be allowed to come to the wedding and have to go be babysat by the children?
I'm assuming it was sitting with him at the rehearsal dinner. I would assume.
I would tell everybody at the rehearsal dinner. I'd be calling him out publicly, very loud, with everybody here. I'd be calling him father. Hey, come back, priest. Come here. Yep. Did you know this? You want to marry this couple? Not very nice. I would get petty. Throw hands. I'm short-tempered anyways. Like, that would piss me off. It pisses me off actually right now just thinking about it. Like, I'm trying to put myself in the position. I'm like,
but he also even called his brother over, and his brother said, "It's for the best, and if I want, I can always go over and check on her."
Yeah, like she's some type of dog.
So his brother has his fiance, soon-to-be wife's back against his own brother, and that.
And again, like I was saying, he chose the sister-in-law. He chose his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Rightfully so. I get it. You should back up your wife, even if they're wrong and stupid at the time, and then you hash out later of, hey, that's very fucking uncalled for. That's not going to happen. You fight behind scenes, not in public. Cool. Fucking.
But the fact that the parents are like, they didn't agree either.
The parents like, no,
to get over the ego.
It's okay.
To get over my ego and come. What ego are you holding at that point? I mean, I don't know.
No, that would be people would be catching hands.
Maybe I had used to be a friend of mine who I was supposed to be the best man of him and and some shit went sideways. I got him a job, and he worked with us for a little while. Job I work at now, and he had the job, and come to find out he was using excuses of VA appointments to go to job interviews, because well as well as I did, the VA appointments take multiple hours. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go to the VA for an hour, be back. I'll be back in an hour and go to the doctor appointment. No, it's multiple fucking hours.
Yeah.
He would use this excuse multiple times a week to go to job interviews. And then come to find out he quits it. And I had vouched for him and everything else. He never said one thing to me at all about this. I was hearing this from everybody else. Come to find out,
a quick way to nuke your
gets
reputation,
another job and quits the one he's at after I vouched for him to get the job, after he turned the job down, and I vouched for him again to get it. He was struggling, needed a job. I said, yeah, I didn't think he'd fucking do it. Got the job after I vouched for him again, after he denied the job, and then does this shit, and he's like, he's getting married and everything else, and I was like, and I called him and asked him, like, hey, what's going on? Says nothing about the job, nothing about quitting, nothing about anything. Actually, I had no fucking idea, like I was stupid. And he's like, and they were planning his bachelor party at the time. And he's like, oh, so you're going to the bachelor party? I said, no, I'm not. So why not? You didn't say shit about anything about the job. Nothing. You just straight up fucked me over with any credibility I have now. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And fuck your wedding, I'm out. And hung up. I haven't talked to him since then.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened, nor do I care. They're divorced now anyways, which I knew was going to happen. But shit like that, man, like, it's fucking blows my mind.
The craziest thing we had, it didn't even really happen. We had precautions set in place because I don't know if I mentioned it before. I may have in passing to you, but not on the podcast. I don't know. It's been a year. Memory shit. But no, we had so my wife's dad is virtually non-existent. We have no contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think prior to the wedding, I met him twice. I've had 2 interactions with him. And I didn't want to meet him because my wife and my in-laws have all said he's an abusive piece of shit. He beat his wife. He beat his children. He's a drunk. He's a druggie. I don't want to meet him. I don't like those type of people. And I already have issues with my brother-in-laws because they're drunks. And one of them's a druggie. And I'm like father, like son. But it instantly pisses me off. And let alone being a child abuser or hitting your wife like that. That pushes me over. That's boundaries that I will never cross. And that is one, I will go and send myself to jail if I find out somebody else is doing that to their children who are friends of my daughter or my son. But with knowing all that, I think that, like I said, the third time meeting him would have been at the wedding. And rumor got around that he may be objecting to the wedding because we were having a Catholic wedding and we were having it in my church that I grew up in and mostly grew up in. And we were having the ceremony. It's very close niche. And then he got pissed off because my wife chose not to have her dad walk her down the aisle. Why would she when he's been this abusive shithead? Mm-hmm. That's being very nice. So she wanted to have her oldest brother walk her down. Brothers didn't want to do it because they thought that'd be disrespectful to him. And she said, well, either you guys can walk me down or my soon-to-be father-in-law can walk me down. So I had to talk with my dad and explain the situation. Hey, just FYI, come the wedding day, her brothers may not walk her down. One of them may not walk her down. So if that's the case, would you mind? And of course, my dad's like, absolutely. This is before all the drama, all the shit took place. And he's like, absolutely, I'd be honored to walk down your wife and give her away. Well, that really pissed off my father-in-law. And pissed off Dave. And he got around that.
well, he's gonna object. So again, my wife tells her brothers to talk to their dad, and say, "Don't you do it, because it's not going to be pretty if you do it." My side of the family came out in force, and so my mom and dad knew about it. My brothers knew about it, who were my groomsmen, and then a few of my uncles that were there knew about it. A few of my aunts knew about it, and basically everybody on my side of the family said, "Okay, point him out when he comes." So of course, I'm standing up, and they're mentioning the father of the bride. They're doing all that, or they mention like father of the groom's mother of the grooms. They're going down the family, and they skip father of the bride. And my priest is literally like, "Oh, and who gives her away?" And literally, my dad stood up, already in anticipation that my father-in-law would say some stupid shit or whatever. And mother-in-law stepped in and said, "Oh, I'm giving my daughter away." Again, pissed him off. And he said shit to us after the wedding about that's disrespectful. And basically, all I had to say was, "I don't care. You know what you did." Like, that was it. He didn't talk to me after that because it was I will go to jail. Like, I won't do well in jail. But if I'm going to go to jail over something, it's going to be this.
Yeah.
I will stand my ground. And, like, everyone's ready to go. Like, my brothers were ready to fight because he'd been talking this mad shit on Facebook. He's been talking this mad shit with people in his town, which we so happen to have family in the town. So it made circuit really quick. And, like, yeah. He doesn't see us. We don't see him. And I could do a whole episode about how shitty my fucking father-in-law is. And then some of it would make you cringe, and some of it would make you get riled up, and just go on a manhunt. So.
Well,
but that's for another time. So, I think that's everything, though. We did a few episodes.
enough. I mean, we definitely did one that would trigger you enough.
Stories, episodes, it's stories. Have me a moment. It's okay. Rahgel got me riled. Now we're here.
I just read the Reddit.
I know it got me riled.
I know it did.
Anyways, this is our 50th episode. We have a lot of stuff in store. Why can't I fucking speak? It's like reading one of these goddamn Reddit posts.
It fucks you up because trying to read them fucks you up.
English.
I mean, SIL.
That one made me laugh. It's like, you don't know sister-in-law?
No, I don't fucking know that. I don't read Reddit enough.
That's how my family texts is. SIL says XYZ.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We do shorthand and everything. It pisses me off because that's my
can't
whole life in the
stand
military.
Oh my gosh. Can't stand shorthand sometimes.
All the time. I love sending it to other people, but I know shorthand they don't. But I'm going to do that to you now. But anyways, this was our 50th episode. We have lots of stuff in store as long as we get to see it. And I think we did the calculations for the 100th episode was going to be in September. The first week of September, I think.
Around that time, yeah.
I think. Unless we did our math wrong. But it also depends on what we do for the summer. We got lots of stuff in store. We're going to try to, him and I, because like we said before, we've never physically met in person. We only see each other from nips up. Well, I get to see from his abs up. He doesn't see me from my nips up. I keep everything hidden. It's like a surprise Kinder egg. So we have lots of stuff in store this week.
There's chocolate salty balls on the inside.
Oh, some salty balls, yep. A little crunchy too. Midday.
The live episode is going to be great.
Live episode would have happened by the time this aired, but yeah.
I know, but it's going to be fun. It was great.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
Go check it out on YouTube. You can see it there. But of course, depending upon how well that does, whatever, how well it was, we'll try to do another one. We also are going to be meeting up in person and recording a podcast or 2 or 3 or who knows. We may record stuff while we're out and about in KC. Maybe go to a bar and record an episode just to make it really fucking annoying for everyone to listen in on. So why not? We've talked about doing a cookbook because both of us like to cook, and you guys can see stuff we grill, we smoke, we make. You can decide to give yourself liver poisoning with some of the drinks I make.
Called diabetes, not liver poisoning.
No, that'd be a whole different chapter of how to get diabetes, and it's our top like 100 candies.
That one's gonna count. We have to do candies.
Oh, we have to do candies.
So that's all I fucking do is eat candy during the episodes.
We do a candy episode. That one's going to get vilely toxic.
Probably.
And I'm not even saying it's because of you. I will 100% take ownership over that because I know it'll be me. Because I eat a bunch of candy daily.
The shit candy you eat, your fucking butterscotch and everything else, cowtails.
No, listen, butterscotch.
Garbage fucking candy.
I don't eat butterscotch. I eat salted caramels. Okay, I eat the caramels, not the butterscotch. Get it fucking right.
Whatever. Fucking 9-year-old Werther's holding bitch.
They're chewy. What old person do you know has chewy ones? That takes out their dentures.
The ones that hold them in their pocket forever.
They do taste good, pretty warmed up too.
Anyways, fucking problems. Fucking problems.
We will address all that on the candy episode, like 2 true fat asses. That's fine. That's fine. But until then, everyone, thanks so much. Thanks for all the support. Over 50 episodes in over a year. We got more to come. Stay tuned. Rahgel will have a new catchphrase by the end of this year. I promise that's going to be my mission.
No way.
Till then, here's Rahgel.
Bye, bitch.